Good evening, distinguished guests, faculty members, and most importantly, our dear students, ladies and gentlemen. We warmly welcome you all to the inauguration ceremony of the Master of Science in Public Procurement and Supply Chain Management program offered by the Faculty of Management Studies of the Open University of Sri Lanka. We are delighted to have you here today as we mark yet another significant milestone of the academic journey of the Faculty of Management Studies. We are honored to have esteemed guests among us today whose presence add a touch of prestige to this momentous occasion.
The Faculty of Management Studies takes immense pride in presenting this program, which is designed to equip students with advanced knowledge and skills in the fields of procurement and supply chain management, enabling them to excel and make significant contributions to their industries. This inauguration marks the commencement of a transformative journey that leads to a path of intellectual growth, personal development, and professional success.
We now come to a symbolic and sacred moment in our inauguration ceremony, the lighting of the oil lamp. This ritual holds great significance in our culture, representing the illumination of knowledge and the dispelling of darkness. As we kindle the flame of the oil lamp, we invoke the blessings of wisdom, inspiration, and prosperity upon this program and those who are associated with it. So, I would like to cordially invite Professor P.M.C. Tilakaratne, the Chief Guest and the Vice Chancellor of the Open University of Sri Lanka, Ms. Gayanidhi Alvis, the Guest of Honor, Mr. Ivan Tisera, the Keynote Speaker, Dean, Faculty of Management Studies, Dean, Faculty of Natural Sciences, Dean, Faculty of Education, Dean, Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, Dean, Faculty of Engineering Technology, Dean, Faculty of Health Sciences, Ms. Vindhya Jayasena, the Registrar of the Open University, Dr. Anura Wickramasinghe, the Bursar of the Open University, Mr. I.G. Pereira, representing the MSc Resource Panel, Dr. Sujivi Sapukotanage, Head Department of Marketing Management, Ms. Ishara Lakmali, Chief Coordinator of the MSc program, one student representing the master program to light the oil lamp.
Thank you. Before we proceed further, I kindly request everyone to please rise as we pay our respect to our mother nation. It is now time for us to stand together and honor our country by singing the national anthem.
At this moment, I would like to extend a warm invitation to our esteemed guests for joining us at this special occasion. So I would like to invite the chief guest, the Vice Chancellor of the Open University of Sri Lanka, Professor P.M.C. Tilakaratne, the guest of honor and council member of the Open University, Ms. Gaini Alvis, the keynote speaker and MSc Resource Panel member, Mr. Ivan Tissera, Dean of the Faculty of Management Studies, Professor Nalin Abesekara, Head, Department of Marketing Management, Faculty of Management Studies, Dr. Sujeevi Sapukotanage, to kindly proceed towards the head table.
It is now my pleasure to invite Professor Nalin Abesekara, the Dean of the Faculty of Management Studies, who has been instrumental in shaping this program and has a deep understanding of the significance it holds for academic community to deliver the welcome address.
Professor P.M.C. Tilakaratne, Vice Chancellor at the Open University of Sri Lanka, Mr. Ivan Tissera, our keynote speaker, guest of honor, Ms. Gaini Alvis, all resource persons for the program, all deans, Registrar Bursa, Dr. Sujeevi, head of the department, Ms. Ishara Lakmali, coordinator, all heads, faculty members, and more importantly, our learning partners. So I think today itself considered as one of the very important day for the Faculty of Management Studies, because this public procurement and supply chain program we considered as very unique in Sri Lanka, because we can see many supply chain management programs, not something aligned with the public procurement. By looking at the country and the IMF guidelines, IMF always concerned about two things. Number one is efficiency, number two is corruption. So efficiency and corruption, if you really analyze and interpret, more importantly, the public procurement comes into action. So specifically, this program been designed by our resource, the professionals and experts. So definitely we need to acknowledge their expert view, including Ms. Gaini Alvis, specifically Mr. Ivan Tissera, Mr. I.G. Pereira, then more importantly, our professors, Professor Suranga, then Professor Pratibha Manama. So you should know, like, they are very busy with all the work, but they always willing to allocate some time for the faculty and for the Open University. And more importantly, we get the blessings of our Vice Chancellor as a faculty. This faculty, like more than 30 years of experience, we already offering 2 MBA programs, Commonwealth MBA and the HRM MBA program. And we have the expertise, and we always get in the help and the blessings of all the divisions and the faculties, including the director Setni and all other faculties. So it means technically our learning partners, you are very fortunate to have a collaboration with us, with the expertise panel, with the location of the Open University of Sri Lanka, and all by looking at the context. So the strategic window has been open for this country. Now we need to understand as professionals how to help for this country to move forward. I think this particular batch, even though it's very small in number, around 25, 30, you might be the brand ambassadors for this program. And next time onwards, we can think of all the Sri Lankan government servants to follow this program of public procurement, and this expert panel might be the expert panel for the entire country, because we have expertise in public procurement, supply chain, and economics and law and everything. So it's one of the best combination you are having. So we warmly welcome you for the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. As the highest academic authority in our university, he has played a pivotal role in shaping the vision and direction of our university. It's with great honor and privilege that I invite Professor PMC Tilakaratne, the Vice Chancellor of the Open University of Sri Lanka, to address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dean, Faculty of Management Studies, and our own council member, Mrs. Gaini Alvis, and keynote speaker, Mr. Ivan Tisera, Registrar of the University, and Director, Center for Technology and Media, and other assistant directors, senior registrars, administrative staff of the university, and Dean, Faculty of Education, and of course, our resource pool. Here, Dr. Pratibha Mahana Meheva, I see here, and again, rector of the Sri Pali campus, and our friend, Professor Suranga Perra, and so our own, colleagues, well qualified, of course, academia, and all the senior staff members of the Faculty of Management Studies, and all other distinguished invitees, especially today, this event is meant for, again, it's an inaugural session of the Master of Science in Procurement and Public Procurement and Supply Chain Management. So the Open University of Sri Lanka, of course, I need to mention a few words about Open University of Sri Lanka. Now we, today, to date, counts 43 years of academic excellence. The Open University of Sri Lanka, of course, commenced its, the functions in 1980. And since then, we have, that special uniqueness of this university. All, programs are, again, industry oriented. And our way of delivery is in the open and distance learning mode. So therefore, it's only National University in Sri Lanka which provides higher education opportunities for those who aspire to, that, of course, climb up the ladder or the, that of the higher education. It is the Open University. Now, the higher education landscape is rapidly changing. Technology adoption and pedagogical approaches, and everything is, that now changing day by day, and the competition also intense. And within this, of course, I must appreciate the first instance, the Faculty of Management Studies, where again coming forward and strategically thinking the much more needed area to introduce this kind of a Master of Science in Public Procurement and Supply Chain Management. As the Dean, mentioned, I always think that this country, the white collar crime, corruption, of course, that we are paying again for the corruption from our salary every month. Now, that the advanced personal income tax. So where that we never expected. So therefore, I think that white collar crimes are more when the, taxes are more in the country. Because why? It is not, that equally redistributed, whatever the taxes are collected. That is, that country that we are living. Anyway, so with this all, that obstacles and the criticisms in the, that political arena and the economy. So when it comes to our subject, this public procurement, of course, it is more diverse area. Let's say my, again, memory goes back to 2001, when World Bank projects, introduced to Sri Lanka. I was working with, that IRKB project. Then in my proposal, that put what is called procurement of the tuition fee. Then when it came to that university procurement committee, asked that how to do the procurement for the tuition fee of the Southern Queensland University in Australia. Then the procurement specialist hired for the World Bank asked me to provide the that procurement plan. Then I prepared the TUR. So how to that do the procurement tuition fee. Then the PhD, of course, minimum period is 3 years. Then I divided all 3 years. Then the first year and second year, then I put blank. It means that personal to the holder must be met that tuition fee. Then the third year again, I put a budget. So then that there, of course, I never thought that I'll be able to come up with that kind of procurement plan. And again, so that's why I say it's very, very diverse field where that never thought of. Now, let's say, for example, now recent what is called the Titanic, what is called submersive, the submarine. Now the US government is now alleging the level against the allegations against each other, how to value this loss, who is responsible, right? And what is the value of the vessel itself? Nobody is knowing, and rather 5 people travel the intellectual capital, how to value those. So therefore this all that again leading to some sort of what is called procurements. Therefore again creating this kind of an idea, of course, including head of the department, Dr. Sapukorege. Of course, I know how this, that concept emanated. This concept emanated as a result of, I think, Kotalavala Defense University as well. So in the beginning, and said that, okay, all the public, that servants, those who are, of course, engaged in procurement processes will be enrolled into this course. That finally, it, so finally vested with the Faculty of Management Studies of the Open University of Sri Lanka. Now, all standalone course. Now the Open University of Sri Lanka now going to, of course, offer, and today is the inaugural day. So as he said, that 2025 is the ideal class size. There is a saying that small is beauty always, right? So small is beauty. In that case, I think that always, whatever not the numbers, the quality speaks the number, and number speaks the quality. And as a result of that, these words of mouth of the participants of this course after 2 years, definitely it will go around, and more that numbers will come to the Open University to follow this course. Now, what, of course, that we want a career in procurement. That is also important aspect to be discussed. And working in a procurement is a global profession. Of course, if you just go into the ILO, International Labour Organization, or the that World Bank website, or the ADB, Asian Development Bank website. So I always notice that procurement specialists hiring, but that dearth of human resources, expertise in this area is much. And not only the subject matter, now I said that earlier, technology adoption. As a result of that, now e-procurement. I think government also is having now e-procurement, that whole database now. So yeah, I do not know whether all the, that the electronic procurement matters are working up to the, that maximum or the optimal level. But government invested so far the lot of funds to come up with this, project as well. Then you may buy things from the global market or work with a global company. You can easily move around the world working in different positions and companies, still within the procurement profession. And the great thing about procurement is that it is the same all over the world as far as I know. The procurement processes are almost, that similar. So therefore, there are main activities. Why that I am saying, similar, the procurement, acquiring goods or services from suppliers or competitors. Every day that we are, that of course in the procurement processes, I mean, let's say household essentials, procurement. We go, we assess, we observe, we never buy, right? We compare. Then after our purchasing decisions will be executed. Then the second, negotiating contracts with suppliers or competitors. When I was living abroad, I remember that one day I wanted to, that purchase, say some, that clothing plus, that pair of shoes. Then so our nature is that going for bargaining. So I, that went for bargaining and said that you go to Albania and you will get the, cheapest, that goods over there. I couldn't understand it. Then that I didn't buy, I just, went out. Right? So again, Sri Lankans, we always used to do what is called window shopping. We see the windows, very nice, right? Dummies are there, so right, with good trousers and that all the pants, that go to the dummies, and we just look at, okay, good, right? But then we never buy. That is the procurement, of course. So that is the efficiency that we are talking about. That will create negotiating process with suppliers and competitors. That is also another characteristic. And then conducting market research, we need to aware what are the that available brands, products, they are that properties, all that we need to analyze. Otherwise, we never execute our purchasing decision, whether it's an organization or an individual. And then preparing and submitting bids to procure goods or services. So every, that myself and the registrar, read in this type of things. Today also, that early in the morning, there's a problem. Server room that the all coolers, that becomes standstill, non-working, non-functional. So then what to say? It's a 9 million investment today. So then I thought that no, not to, that immediately go for the 9 million. There are some other ways, right? Then bids call, then again, some of the bids, of course, that the bid owners, of course, I didn't, call them, but that indirectly telling our staff, okay, you contact them, at least courtesy towards the university, where not the procurement process to be followed. If they have been working with us to do some services to the university, right? Therefore, it is also that embedded into the procurement process. Then monitoring and managing contracts are the that another important aspects, because we know that once we purchase something, it is over. No, it's not over. Let's say, for example, simple as it is, purchasing a laptop, where that warranty periods are there, right? Some, that companies, again, disappear when the warranty comes, non-existent. So therefore, that this evaluation is, very much serious. Then in supply chain management environment, what we are again looking for, procurement, is the process of acquiring goods and services which needed to support for business continuity, right? That is the main thing. So that's why the procurement always, plays a significant role in any organization. So therefore, with this, that I hope this MSc, because it's I think this is the first master's program in Sri Lanka touching this, that area. Public procurement. Some, diploma programs are there. And then I again have been invited by the UNESCO also, conducted the online program earlier. But that each and every organization, whether it's that public or private or a NGO, so or any other that service sector, the procurement is very much important. So therefore, that I must appreciate all the that intellectual input, of course, done by our faculty and the external resource persons pooling together this expertise to come to this level, and then went through all the rigorous approval processes of our University Grant Commission and the quality assurance processes, and thereafter cleared up today, and today that we are inaugurating. I hope that all our that learning partners, I again name it as learning partners. You are not at all students of the university. These learning partners will embark with the intended your qualification, Master of Science in Public Procurement and Supply Chain Management in time, and that you will be you will be one of the brand ambassadors at the Open University of Sri Lanka. So with this note, I remain. Thank you very much, and again have a that nice evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insight. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our highly esteemed keynote speaker, who is widely recognized as a leader and visionary in their field, with a wealth of experience and expertise that has made a significant impact on the industry. Today, we are fortunate to have procurement expert Mr. Ivan Teixeira with us to share his unparalleled insights and wisdom. He holds a BA Honours degree in Economics from University of Peradeniya and a Master's in Economics from University of Wollongong in Australia. He is also a graduate of Economics of Development from the Australian National University. He is a member of the National Procurement Commission and a former member of the Procurement Appeal Board. He has also served as the Additional Director General in charge of Public Procurement and Project Management attached to the Ministry of Finance. Dear sir, this warm invitation is for you to address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everybody. So first of all, let me explain about the procurement Professor mentioned. If you refer the Oxford Dictionary, old dictionary, procurement refers to the oldest profession in the world. You all know what is the oldest profession, right? So anyway, now the latest dictionary, they have changed the name. Anyway, good afternoon, everybody. Professor PMC Tilakaratne, Vice Chancellor, Professor Nalin Abhisekara, Dean, Faculty of Management Studies, distinguished members of the head table, and participants, panel members, and ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure and honor that I participate to deliver this keynote address at this important opening ceremony of the MSc in Public Procurement and Supply Chain Management of the Open University, Sri Lanka, which I believe is the most innovative university in Sri Lanka, offering degrees with high impact and a pioneer of this master postgraduate in this nature. At the very outset, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the Vice Chancellor and the Dean and other academic and non-academic staff of the university who have been reluctantly worked in the designing and implementing the postgraduate program. This indeed a very timely initiative for several reasons. Firstly, there is an increase in demand for well-trained procurement professionals in both the public and the private sector. Currently, there is a shortage of skilled and trained professionals in this area. Secondly, public procurement reform is a priority of the Sri Lankan, GSL, Sri Lanka public sector governance system. To achieve long-term economic and social development goals as a more pressing issue now than ever before. In this endeavor, I must congratulate those who contribute, so candidates who have enrolled in this master program. I have no doubt about the outcome of this program. So you get the benefit after completing this course successfully, because besides the high demand for procurement professionals, they are well remunerated, both within the country and internationally. You know that even today, the highest salaries getting the local procurement specialist more than the ministry secretary, right? If you work for internationally, it may be 10 times. we have many foreign funded projects which require procurement consultants and procurement specialists, but the supply is very much lower than the demand. On another note, I am humbly happy to say that I was instrumental to introduce the Diploma in Public Procurement and Contract Administration, the so-called DIPCA, you know, in 2005, when I was working for the National Procurement Agency. As a result, we were able to produce a significant number of qualified diploma holders for the country, and I am pleased to note the most of them are now working as procurement specialists and consultants on several foreign funded projects. I am proud to say some of them have pursued higher studies leading to PhD program in public procurement and are serving in public procurement specialists and procurement consultants in donor agencies such as the World Bank, ADB, etc. Nonetheless, the shortage of competent procurement professionals is still quite high because, as I said earlier, we have many foreign funded projects and domestically funded projects. Let me now touch upon new development, which probably many of you are aware of, but still worth mentioning here. The National Procurement Commission, which was set up as an independent institution commission under the 21st Amendment of the Constitution, where I currently serving as a member. We have presently agreed in principle to establish a separate card for procurement activities in the public sector with a clear career path like other professional services like engineers, accountants, etc. As we have observed, the lack of dedicated staff with the required competencies a major reason for many ills in the procurement activities, jeopardizing the economic development of the country. So I must say, even if you give many training, ultimately we can't retain them because they are not belong to one particular service. So one day we give rigorous training, but next day he is doing completely different thing. There's no end of procurement training. So the establishment of separate card is very much important under this situation. Against this background, it is pertinent to share a few of my thoughts on burning issues in public procurement. The public procurement cycle commences from the need identification and goes beyond the contract award up to the contract management. That's what the Vice Chancellor also mentioned. However, as we constantly experience, there are several deficiencies. Number one, persistent delays. You won't believe some development projects take more than 2-3 years just to award the contract. Right? Delays, non-compliance with prescribed rules and regulation, irrespective to the volume of training we give, and very importantly, lack of value for money. That is the most important principle of public procurement. So we have heard, if you consider value for money in our private life, we know very well. As Professor mentioned very correctly, we know what to purchase and what not to purchase. But when you come to the government, we don't know whether we use the value for money concept. It is economy, we say 3-4 dimensions, efficiency, effectiveness, and ultimately ethics. So I don't want to explain, but there are 4 dimensions in value for money. That is the most important procurement public sector. Especially the private sector, there's a different criterion. They are looking for profit. If they run the business profitably, at the end of this period, they can see whether they incur loss or profit. If they continuously losing, they will shut down the business and go home. But when you come to the government business, government objective is not profit. Therefore, we should have different criterion to measure the performance of the government. In addition to this value for money, lack of probity and integrity, that is the most critical issue in these days, result in corruption. And also the lack of transparency, fairness, and public accountability. Again, let me explain a little bit of the public accountability we have. So we notice every day on TV, the COPA committee investigating various things, but we don't see the effectiveness of that. But the simple criterion is whether the public officers have followed the rules and whether they have shown the financial progress, nothing else. There's no point of talking about other big things. We'll come to that point later, right? So, moreover, lack of expected results. That's what I want to say. So, lack of expected results is the main feature in our public procurement. Outputs, outcomes, and impacts of public procurement expenditure. Furthermore, we learn from other countries. What is this? People say you must work hard, work efficient. හොඳට වැඩ කරන්න. මහන්සි වෙලා වැඩ කරන්න. I don't know the meaning of that. I don't know. A farmer can work hard and at the end of the day, he can see the field is done. But when you come to the government service, we don't understand what is the meaning. Okay, we'll come to that later. Working hard is not an ideal criterion to measure the performance of public officers. It may be that public officials are busy with their assigned activities while providing inputs. We can see all the time, we can't say it is very unreasonable if we say public officers are not working. They are working. They are very busy. Okay? But what is important is to focus on results. The results-based management is the key to measure the effectiveness. When we say the public service, it is not the profit, the outputs and outcomes. Finally, the impact. I am of the view, it is not due to the inefficiency or ineffectiveness of public officials, rather due to the existing outdated administrative system prevailing from the inception of the independence. That has led to a systemic failure. Now everybody is talking about systemic failure. We must understand what is the real reason, and not only that, we must give some alternative and innovative solution how to come out of that systemic failure, which is indeed not a myth, but prevailing condition as we all witness in every facet of the society, leading to weak governance of the country. So it is very sure, everybody is very sure something has gone wrong, right? However, if we confine our discussion on the public sector, because governance, if we talk, the large number of players are there, the institutions are there. But one thing I must mention you, the ultimate objective of good governance is nothing but the happiness of citizens. If you ask you, are you happy? I know all of you say we are not happy, right? But what is the answer we can give? How we can correct that? That is the important thing. However, if we confine our discussion, public sector governance seems to have the, so we can see everywhere. If you go to government ministry or department, corporation, at the very front desk, we see their vision, their mission, objectives, and things like that. Very nicely printed. But when you go back to their office, we don't see any linkage between their vision, mission, and what they do. That is the failure we'll see, right? Namely the vision, mission, etc., that are displayed at the front desk of public sector organizations. Nonetheless, as as an in-depth investigation reveals only busy people engaging various activities of the organization. But such activities are not properly aligned with their action plan, leading to strategic performance. That is the whole problem. Even though we have very nice literature on vision, mission, maybe objectives, perhaps the action plan also, but we don't know the results. Nobody is accountable, responsible for results, right? I said the prime objective of governance is nothing the happiness. Are we happy if the government officers are busy? No. What we expect is the results. Okay, we'll come to that. How the procurement relate to that. But such activities are not properly aligned with the strategic performance. It is unfair to say zero performance or not generated results. We can't say it is unreasonable. But the bottom line is whether the delivery of performance commensurate with the money they spend. Despite attractive financial reports presented without identifying the performance gaps or performance accountability failure. As I mentioned a little while ago, nobody is accountable for results. We confine only the financial aspect, not the performance aspect. We can observe from oversight committees the emphasis on compliance and financial progress. The common consensus is that systems have failed. But what the issue is, who to blame? Politicians, bureaucrats, or citizens? I do not believe the panacea for all ills in the public sector organization is due to political evils. It is true that the policy directions are taken by politicians. But I ask from you, who should give policy directions? We should not expect the Minister of Finance to detail us the ways and means of public financial management reform or public procurement reforms. We should do. It is our duty. It is a nice story, I must tell you. That is a story of 4 people. Everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody. There's an important job to be done. Everybody was sure somebody should do that. But nobody did. Why? It was everybody's job. The story ended up with everybody was blaming somebody what nobody did, which anybody could have done. You'll understand. As we all know, the issue of good governance has come to the forefront of political and economic debate following the economic crisis that we are facing today. While the primary causes of this unprecedented economic crisis are well known, all of us aware that something has gone wrong in our system. There are several schools of thought as to how we should proceed to correct this failure. Some believe that the change in political power is the remedy. But we as professionals should unbiasedly analyze the issue and put forward innovative solutions rather than just criticizing destructively. We know that the criticism is easy, but forwarding innovative and alternative solutions are not that easy to overcome the deficiencies. But should we reinvent the wheel? I say, answer is no. Everything is there. Our job is to identify the reform initiatives taken and adapt to our system suitably. So we are aware that according to international ranking of good governance, Sri Lanka's poorly ranked 91st out of 167 countries in 2023. As we all know, good governance has many facets and many players. Our task is to find out how to make positive contribution to improve good public sector governance. I have no doubt if the public procurement system is streamlined in line with public procurement principles, the ranking will definitely go up. However, I am of the strong view that the weak and ineffective public financial management system in the country is largely responsible for this failure. This is evident from IMF observations as well. Since public procurement is a subset of PFM, without understanding the weaknesses of PFM, there is no point of talking about public procurement in isolation. Again, let me quote a nice statement made by the IFAC, International Federation of Accountants in USA. Please consider this reading. Sound financial management in public sector entities is one of the aspects of good governance. Hence, the objective of public financial management system of in the public sector is to support management in the deployment of limited resources with the purpose of ensuring, again I said, economy, efficiency, and effectiveness in the delivery of outputs in terms of quantity, quality, cost, and time required to achieve desired outcomes that will serve the needs of the community. I think this statement included everything, right? But the challenge before us is, would it be possible to improve the good governance in isolation again? So that this is the high time to engage in a dialogue about the reform initiatives that are needed to get out of this crisis. On the other hand, the government must embark on reform initiatives in line with the international recommendation of IMF and other financial institutions to improve the principles of good governance and ensure performance of public expenditure. Let's look at the key features of present financial administration system and their implications. It's still, we are having very old financial administration system from the inception of the British colonial regime. Financial regulation introduced by British to control inputs and describe the processes rather than obtaining results. I don't think we should blame the British. One thing is, during that era, that was the system. But now they have changed. But nobody has invented or searched at least what is their present financial administration. However, even after 75 years, we follow the same input-based incremental budgeting. I said, every year we increase the budget. Input-based incremental budget. If you look at our budget, we say the salary is this much, overtime this much, vehicle this much, things like that. Nothing about the outputs or outcomes we expect from public organizations. The other one is cash-based accounting system, which recognizes the expenditure and revenue only when money is paid and received. So the fundamental features of accounting, such as financial performance and positions, are not reflected from our accounts. That is the basic of accounting. If you look at the financial accounts, balance sheet, P&L account, we see the financial performance and positions, right? Instead, we submit an appropriation account. That is the account the state agencies, ministries, departments, other than the corporation, other than the universities, because they are running as corporate sector, different accounting, but majority ministries, departments, they submit an appropriation account what it says, appropriation account, which shows the money allocated from the budget, spent together with the exceeding or saving. Easy. This accounting system alone has created many issues in the public sector. Since assets and liabilities are not shown from public accounts, the financial position of public entities are and the public sector in general is not known. One popular example is depletion of government vehicles. Now we saw in newspapers 1,800 vehicles are missing in the Ministry of Education. How it happened? We'll think. This could have been easily traced if the full approval accounting system had been in place. Moreover, we don't have a management accounting system to measure the true cost of public services. Importantly, there is no way of measuring results of individual officers as well as public institutions in absence of key KPIs, key performance indicators in operation. On the other hand, we have financial auditing and financial accountability, right? Practices. So the criterion is financial progress and compliance to measure the success or failures, right? As such, the citizen should be happy if the total budget allocation is spent in a public institution without violating rules. So we must follow the rules and spend the money. If you have not spent the money, the auditors come and say your financial progress is this much. So what we do is we immediately purchase things and spend the total money, but at the same time we follow rules and regulation also, right? I said we generally don't violate. This is because the performance target and actual performance are not reflected in our financial reporting and accountability process. Therefore, the task is not difficult. Our task is not difficult. Bureaucrats and politicians, what we have to do is to spend the money and follow the rules. So let me quote a nice tale called the Turkish tale. A person lost his wallet where in a dark alley, in a dark area. But he is searching his purse under a street light. One person came and asked, "Hey, what are you doing?" "I am searching my purse." "Where did you lose your purse?" "I lost in a dark alley. It is too dark for me to find my purse. That's why I am searching under the street light." If we consider the macroeconomic objectives, there is no doubt that all the countries in the world are trying to achieve sound and sustainable economic growth. So if you look at the Keynesian income expenditure approach to measure the gross domestic product, we use the famous formula GDP C plus I plus G. You all are very familiar. What is C plus I? But I stress on G, where G is the government expenditure. It has been revealed across the border. Procurement expenditure account for 70% of the national budget. The story is same in Sri Lanka. Our budget, more than 70% or more or less 70% is on procurement expenditure. National budget, except the salaries. All capital and recurrent expenditure are on for public procurement. Percentage of procurement expenditure GDP is 10 to 25%, right? Nonetheless, in absence of a sound financial management system in the country, we have to consider our popular criterion. What is this? Public sector expenditure is equal to public sector production. Finish. As I quoted in Turkish tale, irrespective of wastage, corruption, less priority, lack of VFM, etc. But account this expenditure as public sector production, performance, and simply add to the GDP. Under this situation, even if more corruption, there's no problem. In public expenditure, it automatically gives rise to more GDP and higher growth rate and higher per capita. You all know how to calculate the per capita, right? I have no time to explain, but our per capita is well over $4,000 per annum. If you have 4 children at a family, you have to get how much? $16,000 per annum into 300. You calculate and see what is your income. We have witnessed the implication of mega development projects without proper outcomes, creating a big financial crisis in this country. Pathetically, no proper studies have been done so far to analyze the real reasons and put forward short solution to government other than shouting with big voices of politicians, even intellectuals, media, various pressure groups, and public at large. Everybody is criticizing. However, I see nothing wrong with the Keynesian GDP formula, albeit some criticisms are there. In this context, I have my reservation on the growth measurement in country applying Keynesian theory and appreciate the gross national happiness. In where Bhutan in 1970s, the king introduced that. They actually use these indicators, not only gross national happiness, they have the subjective well-being and also subjective Buddhist happiness. You see that? So they don't believe on traditional GDP Keynesian theory. The literature on the effect of public procurement on economic growth is quite lean compared to the literature on the effect of public expenditure on economic growth. However, several works on direct and indirect effect of public procurement on economic growth and development do exist. And common consensus that effective and efficient public procurement is key to sustainable economic growth and development. Hence, the economic development goals are a function of public procurement. Apart from this need of integrated public financial management reform, the essence of public procurement is to achieve value for money, which entail economy, efficiency, effectiveness, and ethics, manifest in enhanced human welfare and improved economic growth, is World Bank statement. As such, good public procurement practice, according to the World Bank, are a major determinant of the effectiveness of public expenditure and governance all over the world. However, public procurement is still organized as an administrative function rather than a strategic function of government. In many developing countries, Sri Lanka is a typical example. During the post-independence era, we recklessly continued colonial administration setup with minor tinkering or piecemeal revisions. Those essentially are suboptimal and far behind the international best practices in public management and particularly public financial management. As such, we conclude the integrated public financial management reform is the core and a prerequisite to ensure good public sector governance. On the other hand, it is apparent that this sound financial management system demands sound rules of regulation, performance-based budgeting, full approval accounting of public sector, and public sector costing and accounting standard, value for money auditing, performance reporting, performance agreement, and performance-based accountability, etc., in an integrated fashion. In a nutshell, soundness or weakness of public procurement system therefore mirrors the quality of the PFM system and the quality of government When we apply this indicator, it's like a snapshot of the country. We can see the gaps. Performance gap, transparency gap, accountability gaps, various gaps. There are 7 lessons from the OECD public procurement reviews. Number 1, moving away from strict compliance as a more managerial approach, pursuing value for money in the whole project cycle, ensuring a strategic position of the government function to ensure sound stewardship of public funds, that is accountability. Developing evidence to monitor the performance of procurement system, monitoring system. That is not one of our tasks also NPC. Tapping into potential of consolidation with a view to achieving efficiency gains. Investing in professionalization. This is also an investment, professionalization. MSc in public procurement and supply chain management. Keeping strict control in the use of exceptions to competitive tendering. Finally, providing sufficient flexibility in the procurement policy to adapt to different situations while ensuring transparency. When it comes to good governance, good procurement management, again, the skilled and trained staff at all levels are fundamentally important to arrest the deficiencies and improve good governance in the country. Because the principles of good governance are almost same as the principles of public procurement, particularly public sector governance. Participants to the MSc program will learn all the facets of the public procurement cycle and supply chain management and key issues relating to each activity in the procurement cycle, and more importantly, how to control issues in dealing with procurement resources with a view to achieve VFM in procurement. I have no doubt that this program provides an interactive forum and discusses concepts and issues relating to good public sector governance. Finally, we observe that even though much research has been done on public procurement management arena in other countries and by international institutions, unfortunately, there are hardly any detailed empirical research in Sri Lanka on public procurement subject area, and continuing the sad story of poor public sector performance resulting weak governance, endangering democratic institutions. So I hope this MSc program will provide impetus to do procurement research as a partial fulfillment of the program. Moreover, National Procurement Commission has also identified this dearth and will provide financial facilities to research on public procurement. Thank you for listening to my speech, and I wish participants will have rewarding and enriching experience during this course and be able to contribute the knowledge and skills they would obtain from this course to change the shape and the direction of the country procurement system for better future for its citizens.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. As we reach the finale of this remarkable occasion, it's time to propose a vote of thanks, acknowledging the noteworthy and praiseworthy contribution of many. It's my pleasure to invite Ms. Ishara Lakmari, the Chief Coordinator of the Master of Science in Public Procurement and Supply Chain Management Program, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening. The chief guest, the Vice Chancellor of the Open University of Sri Lanka, Professor PMC Tilakaratne, guest of honor, Council Member of OUSL, Mrs. Gainida Alvis, keynote speaker, the Member of National Procurement Commission, Mr. Ivan Tisera, the Dean, Faculty of Management Studies, Professor Nalin Abesekara, deans of the other faculties, the head Department of Marketing Management, Dr. Sujeev Sapkodnage, all the heads and the academic staff and all the staff of the Faculty of Management Studies, heads of academic divisions, the registrar, the heads of administrative divisions and the staff, the prestigious resource panel, and our dear learning partners, as our Vice Chancellor mentioned, and all the distinguished guests participated for this event. This MSc in Public Procurement and Supply Chain Management program is a collective effort of many divisions and many parties. So I take this opportunity to thank and express my and our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has contributed and contributing for what today you witness as the first inauguration ceremony of this program. First, I would like to express the gratitude of Chief Guest, the Vice Chancellor, Professor PMC Tilakaratne, for his visionary direction for launching this program and supporting us to make this event successful and for today's participation, sir. Then the guest of honor, Mrs. Ganida Alvis, the council member of the Open University of Sri Lanka. Thank you, madam, for your participation today, and your presence is a privilege for us. I would like to pay my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Ivan Tisera, the member in National Procurement Commission, for accepting our invitation without any hesitation and sharing a very insightful speech today. So thank you so much, sir. For all of your valuable contribution to the success of this program and event. Then I would like to thank the deans of other faculties, the all the heads of and the staff of the Faculty of Management Studies, as well as the registrar, heads of the administrative divisions and the staff and the learning partners. I really gratitude you for participating in this event and spending your valuable time with us. Though this program has been launched this year, this is an effort of many parties from the Faculty of Management Studies. I would like to pay gratitude Professor Nalina Besekara, the Dean of the Faculty of Management Studies, Dr. Sujeev Sapkodnage, Head Department of Marketing Management, for their immense effort. Then former and our founder Dean, Professor V. Sivalagulasan, Professor Champika Lianagamage, and all the senior and junior academics, non-academic staff who supported for the process of developing this program. We can't implement this program without the support of the administrative divisions. So I thank the registrar, Mrs. Vindhya Jayasena, and her staff for facilitating us the necessary facilities for that. Then I would like to thank the bursar, Dr. Anura Wickramasinghe. So he's not presenting today, but I would like to thank him and his staff for his immense and friendly support for us in relating to financial matters. I would like to extend my gratitude to Direct Operations for helping us to plan the operation activities smoothly. Then Director Promotions and his team for immense support for implementing the promotional activities. Director Setmi and the team for supporting us for developing promotional video and media coverage today. And Director RES, Assistant Directors, Ms. Vindhya, Ms. Sadisha, and their staff. Especially I should thank to Mr. Chamira Chandrasekhara and Mr. Pathum Danushka for helping us yesterday. And then thank you for all the processors that we work with you for registration and providing support for all the facilities without hesitation to success this program and the event. Then Director IT and the team for helping us throughout this process for registering students and facilitating the Zoom broadcasting today. and Director IRU and the staff for promoting this program internationally, Director Research, as well as I should mention Assistant Registrar, the Examination Division, and all the helpful administrative divisions. Without you, we can't progress this one. And big thanks goes to the Professor Rohan Fernando, Dean Natural Sciences. That without you, we could not function or that have this event. So thank you for providing us these premises to organize this ceremony. And I would like to mention the Assistant Registrar and the staff from the Faculty of Natural Sciences for helping us a very friendly manner to success this event. Then my heartfelt gratitude goes to our prestigious resource panel and the course coordinators of this program. So they are contributing us voluntary. And so thank you so much so far helping us and assisting us to develop this program and to provide our students a very a good learning experience with here. And we glad that having a panel like you with us. And I can't forget the immense contribution of Mr. Aichi Pereira, sir, supply chain expert and the consultant of this program. Thank you so much, sir. And I would like to thank Mr. Nishant Kamaladasa for helping us to structure in the program. And I would also like to appreciate the voluntary contribution of Mr. Christy Pereira. So sir has provided us the interview in voluntary to promote our this program. So then I would like to express my gratitude to the selection interview panel for helping us to conduct the interviews smoothly. And thank you so much, all of the faculty members who supported and supporting us once again. Further, I really appreciate the advices and support of Professor Nalina Besekar, Dean of the Faculty, and Dr. Sujiv Sapkarnage, Head of the Department, Marketing Management, and the organizing team of this event, our junior staff, existing, as well as I would like to thank to the former staff of the Department of Marketing Management and all the staff of the Faculty of Management Studies, especially Mr. Chanaka Veerasekara, Mr. Janaka Hiinkendra, Mr. Asanga Seneviratna, senior lecturers of the faculty for helping us. Whenever we require your help and ideas, you supported us. Thank you for the compeers, and thank you, Senior Assistant Registrar and the Dean of his staff. And I also would like to appreciate the support from the Chief Security Officer and his team. And I would like to thank the cleaning staff for facilitating and providing a cleaning environment for us. Thank you, everyone. If I miss someone to thank, I beg pardon. Then at last, I'm coming to the most valuable treasure for us, that is our learning partner. I would like to pay my heartfelt gratitude to our learning partners for choosing this program. You are the most important treasure for us, and I hope you will take your dream destination, or you will achieve your dream destination by following this program, and that will make us to be achieved our goals as a prestigious national university. And you are not just, as mentioned, the students. So some of you are expert in this field. So fuel your future with us. And this is our first batch. And I really appreciate your risk-taking attitude as change maker to this country. Thank you for all of your presence here, which made this event successful. And thank you once again, and have a nice evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Shara. As we draw this momentous inauguration ceremony to a close, I would like to express my deepest appreciation to each and every one of you for joining with us today. Your presence has made this occasion truly special and memorable. Please enjoy the refreshments arranged for you at the faculty boardroom of the Faculty of Natural Sciences. Our faculty members will help you with the directions. We would like to extend our heartfelt wishes to all the learning partners in their academic journey. Have a great evening.